Great hero, Cinderin. Game number 2, Spirit versus Tundra. I have missed my Abaddon carry.
Abaddon?
We can have that discussion in just a bit. Actually, we could have it just now if you want.
Well, we are in Sweden, so if any country in the world has Abaddon, it would be Sweden because they have ABBA.
Well, you're going to have to hold your horses because we might have a first blood situation here.
We really don't.
There might be blood grenades.
That's true,
okay,
actually.
There we go. Okay, I do have something
really
to say about the pronunciation. First of all, I understand that the correct pronunciation is Abaddon.
Okay.
But that didn't come to light until a few years, like after Dota2 came out.
Okay.
Okay. So it's one of those, I'm used to saying it a certain way, I'm not going to change it. It's not like Pavis, where you can literally look it up, especially if you're an American with, you know, the dictionary.com.
Oh, hang on.
Skeeter.
This is a very potential kill.
He is in no man's land.
I don't really understand what
he is going to die, question mark. Although Malrine gets the first blood on Collapse. So it ends up being a 1-for-1.
And Skeeter's like, all according to plan. We baited them all away, so we get 3 bounties and first blood. That was a very weird whole setup, but it actually works out in Tundra's favor in the end with how they did that. Hard to give them credit for that being on purpose, but maybe. These guys do some pretty creative stuff sometimes, especially with like minute details like early laning mechanics or rune fights. So who knows, maybe that was...
Tell me why we have not been seeing so much Abaddon, despite it being a universal hero.
I mean, he's always going to have... He has the same weaknesses as always, right? He has no mobility ability as a melee hero, which is one of the things that most physical carries have, right? Or melee carries. Either have a mobility spell or a limiting mobility spell, in the sense that the enemy can be forced to fight you. So PA has a blink, Anti-Mage has a blink. Who was I thinking? Now I have to look up the list because I forgot the one hero I was thinking about. Void has a jump. You know, Naga has Ensnare, PL has the charge. All these heroes have a way of connecting. Abaddon does not. So in order to get on top of targets, Abaddon needs either teammates to set him up so he can run in, or he needs to itemize for it by buying a dagger. And that's already...
Or a harpoon.
Or a harpoon. But then you still need to get in range for the harpoon. So it's definitely helping him that this item exists. I would agree with that a lot. I think it's a very, very big help for him to connect on targets. But that is the inherent problem the hero has, is first of all his ability to connect on enemies, and secondly he's very matchup dependent. The hero loses some lanes significantly, and he does very well in others.
Uh-oh, Mira.
He's very
silent.
Here, I think.
Blood grenade still applied.
Oh, he just leveled up. He'll be fine.
And the leap is there.
Just got level 2 there from Collapse's kill on the range creep, I believe that was. So nicely timed. Yeah, just to finish off the Abaddon thoughts here. This is obviously a great matchup for him. Bad Rider is one of the best lane matchups for Abaddon, so that's very good. But there are some off-lane matchups that you truly despise, and that's why the hero generally gets picked later in the draft, and it's just not always a good game for him compared to many of these other carries. And we've also seen in this patch something else to keep in mind. A lot of teams are picking their carry early. And then, you know, then even if it becomes a good Abaddon game further down the line, you've already committed your position 1 by, especially in Spirit's case, first phasing something like a Jugger, or in other games we've seen other carries being picked earlier, or at least in the second phase. Yatoro being run down here by... If he killed...
Yeah,
he's
Photic Shield is back up, so maybe he can turn his ass around and try to get this kill, but the Fade Bolt will keep him back.
There's some good damage here from 33. He's doing very well for himself in this early laning stage, top on bat. He's 14-1. This hero's biggest Achilles heel most of the time is his inability to last hit very well in lane, but 33 is topping the charts. Actually very surprised to see that. He's got the measly... It's not that bad, I guess, his damage, but being universal has definitely helped the hero's ability to play in the offlane, but I would still think that it would not fare this well. It's maybe a classic case of just being, you know, outdated information. You need to feel it.
Yeah, we should mention, in terms of standings, Spirit, if they want to stay where they were at the beginning of the day, then they need to win this game.
Yeah, they're 4-5, and Tundra are 6-3. So, big game for both teams for different reasons. For Tundra, it almost secures them top 4, which is how you advance. And for Spirit, it keeps them around that 3rd, 4th position. So one team is more or less fighting for the guarantee, and the other one is fighting a little bit more for survival. Spirit can obviously recover, even if they lose this game. They have enough games left to...
Yeah, they're not Liquid.
To make it happen. Yeah, Liquid are looking very rough, and so are, I believe it was Entity. Will also have a pretty rough score. I think both teams last I looked were 2-8. I think Liquid might be 2-9 now, actually. So more or less mathematically eliminated at that point. 5-9 is probably not going to cut it for a tiebreaker. So...
Yeah, well, looking at the farm for both position ones, as we're going to see in the bot lane, Snake King. The Fairy Fire Pop Collapse will live a little bit longer, but it's going to be a 1-for-1. He gets some XP out of that at the very least, but Skeeter having himself a good old time. 19-6 in the CS. Mid lane, Ember versus Void Spirit. The brothers at it again, and relatively even at the start of this.
I guess the dynamic of this lane has changed, right? Because in the past... I think most of the time this was kind of considered a wash, and then there's been a phase where it was slightly Ember favored, and there's been a phase where it's slightly Void Spirit favored. Now that Void Spirit is universal, I would expect Void Spirit to just be a flat-out favorite in this lane come this level, because you're starting to have significant last-hit damage advantage. Ember can always slide, obviously, but for creeps that are... When slide is on cooldown, you are facing a 10 damage deficit against Void Spirit at the current point in time. But despite that, Laurel is breaking even, so... I think that's a pretty good result for Ember in this lane.
Yep, for sure. And for Yatoro, he will be going the Echo Saber build into, it looks like Manta for now, or maybe it's just a casual Yasha into something else.
Absolutely want Manta this game. It is so good. I mean, it's good on the hero in general.
Is Radiance a thing?
It can be, but I think the problem is it's too slow for what the hero wants to do in this game. I think you want the Echo, and once you have the Echo, you absolutely want to finish the Harpoon. And then the Manta is just what allows you to harpoon people in and get those stacks up as fast as possible so they don't have counterplay.
Right.
And it allows you to go on the Maiden and actually kill her without having to use your ult. It allows you to go on the Rubik, you pull him in with Harpoon, you instantly Manta, and he doesn't know who to lift. It's like a lot of little things. You can counter the silence from Bloodseeker or even dodge it with a good time, well-timed Manta dodge. And I guess a secondary value point about it as well is that you have more freedom to...
Laurel?
I think this is...
Wants to go on top of Immersion here,
nice
but the Aether Remnant pulling him back from Malrine.
Good arrow.
Connects from the side as Mira will help get that kill onto Immersion. Malrine outnumbered in a 1v3. He's going to get disrupted by Miposhka.
I think he's going to kill Miposhka here, maybe.
Astral Step is there. You can see the rest of Team Spirit not really having any spells they can spam there, so it does result in a 1-for-1.
Good result in a 2v3.
As we can see, Ataro getting chased down by 33. Still has that Aphotic shield up. Now in the cover of the tower. Looks like he will live.
I suppose another thing in this match, I mean, this is kind of interesting, right? Because the Batrider against a Baton matchup, a lot of the ways, at least I think about it, I don't know how much the panelists have played or seen this in general in this patch, but now that Batriders go Vanguard and go 3 in Firefly instead of 3-1-1, I think the matchup is a lot better for Bat than it used to be, because since so much of your damage is not dispellable with the Firefly points, you can actually threaten a Baton. In the past, you had to go 3-1-1, and whenever a Baton got 3 or 4 stacked, he would just Aphotic Shield and laugh at you, right? But now, you can actually Firefly on him. You put one sticky...
They're going to go for him again.
Yeah, Shadow Demon is in position, though, so this is probably not going to happen.
Yeah, they've spot him, so they won't bother.
Miposhka wasn't there. That was a kill.
Yeah, well,
for sure.
Both position 4s, both the Bloodseeker and Abby are pretty much locked in and around the same.
Don't ever say Abby
kills.
again.
Well, you can't have it any way you want, Cinderin, okay? It's either Abaddon or Abby. You choose. By the way, so back to this discussion now that we have a pause. Thank God, I know that the players are allowing us to do this. How do you... We've had this conversation, of course. Let's pretend we haven't. How do you pronounce the green healing thing that isn't the tango?
A salve?
Yeah, it's salve.
No.
So are we going to start pronouncing it salve because it's the technical correct way to say it?
I'm sure you can also say a salve.
Okay. What about Aegis, Cinderin?
Aegis.
It's Aegis,
yes.
Technically. Okay, but Ice Frog himself said, no, I want everyone to mispronounce it as Aegis. So we do, out of respect. And Abaddon, that's my choice for mispronunciation.
Time to look up salve. That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Miposhka, after the pause comes through, looking to take out this Batrider. 33. Gonna get to the low ground, but will die shortly after. Yatoro gets that kill, and now is level 6.
Yeah, it's a real feels good kill for the Abaddon to get. Now he's level 6, like you said, and he's ramping well ahead of the Bat by a full level at this point. But it's also needed, because Spirit's lanes have not been going particularly well. The Beastmaster is being dwarfed by Bloodseeker, the direct counterpick, and Malrine is on the warpath,
yes.
looking for more.
He's already found one support. The shield is there. Mira looks like he's just going to get right-click down. Double kill from Malrine. If I call him Marine, then that's just a compliment, I suppose. But that haste rune coming in, very handy.
2K lead for Tundra. It's similar to last game, but this time you can't blame it on the Devour.
True.
So just a flat-out laning stage win for them. Just getting way more out of it, getting the better kills, and especially the huge discrepancy now in that mid lane. Malrine with a 4-0 against Ember's 1-0 on Laurel.
And what
amounts
kind of
to
build?
1,500 net worth advantage.
Oh, we haven't really seen the searing chains into arrows as Malrine's going to be A-okay. So this combo hasn't really come to fruition for Team Spirit. But from Collapse's side, wondering what kind of build he's going. Looks like Pipe will be the first pickup for him. So auras. I mean, how do you? I'm not saying Pipe is unusual. I mean, I guess it's a little unusual if it's first, but how do you prioritize in a game going for like Helm with the Overlord? You can see the arrow will connect, so that's the second combo with the arrow.
Clean hit.
But Beastmaster, it feels like there's a ton of different builds that you can go. There's the Agnum Scepter, there's Helm and Overlord, there's auras with Crimson Guard or Pipe as we're seeing here.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly. I mean, you can obviously see the matchups that he has here and see the value of the Pipe against Bad Rider, Void Spirit, Rubik, and Maiden. There's just a lot of random AoE magic damage that you're blocking, but I can't tell you for a fact why he's rating this over the Ags. If it's because his start is too bad and he feels like the timing is going to be off, or if they're trying to aim for a certain mid-game point where they want all things to come together with the Pipe, with Abaddon having his first item, with Ember having his first item, like whatever it is. It's definitely, the reasoning has got to be something along those lines.
Oh, arrow will hit. Do they have the damage to rip through? Malrine will get the Astral Step. He's going to get chased by his brother, the Ember Spirit. Gets off the pulse, gives them a little damage mitigation. They see a stack now, so they can take that very shortly, but Malrine will still fall. Nice pick off for Team Spirit. Frostbite's going to catch Mira, though, so it is a trade of sorts, but Spirit will take it. Rupture, but TP is okay. Looks like that stack will still go to Tundra, although there are some Shadow Poisons on it.
Poshka's trying to be a thorn in their side here. And with Laurel reconnecting, they actually have presence here.
Yeah.
So, you're right. The stack is indeed going to go to Spirit.
Well, I did say it. I said both.
You said Tundra.
Points, first I said Tundra, yeah.
You covered your bases. This stack is going to die.
Well, that's not covering all your bases. It could just live the entire game for all
that's true.
That if you had said that, it would have lived the whole game, probably.
Oh. Do I have that much power? Nice arrow.
Who's playing really well right now, Syndra? Let's put it to a test here.
All of them.
Oh, shit.
Now everyone's going to DC.
Oh, dear. And we're seeing 33 go for the Octarine out of the Vanguard buildup, of course. It's been... I do wonder if they're going to end up changing that at some point. It is nice, but maybe it's too good.
Yeah, I mean...
But it is fun seeing Octarines built a lot. It's a fun item.
Yeah, it feels like Vanguard just has too many upsides, right? If you made it not disassemblable, I think that's how it used to be, first of all. I think players would probably still buy it a good amount, despite not going Octarine, because it still has so much inherent value for your presence in lane, your ability to push the tower. Just tankiness in the first 20-25 minutes is very useful. But yeah, a hero like Bad Rider would probably stop buying it, right? If he couldn't go Octarine with it.
Oh, Malrine wanted to go for the rune. Looks like it ends up top, but he's going to take an arrow instead. Searing Chains to follow. Don't think they have the damage to actually kill him outright. Will Astral Step to the other side.
Oh, here comes Yatoro.
And yeah, Yatoro, first rotation of the game. They're going to get the support Rubik to start things out. And Yatoro, he can just try to go for snaking. We see the Rupture come out. That's onto Laurel right now, but he can just stand there because Yataro's the one in front.
Oh, I love Abaddon so much. It's one of my favorite heroes. It's so cool to see when carry players get to finally play this hero. It's not a carry very often in Pro Dota history, right? It's like I don't know, how many years of Dota 2 have we had now? 11? I feel like Abaddon has been a carry for like less than a year in total out of those 11 years.
Yeah,
like, it almost never gets played, but it's so refreshing.
I would say a little bit over a year, but yeah.
You think so?
In the grand scheme of things, very small percentage.
It's mainly a support and an offlaner, but it's really cool to see it in the carry role because like the carries that have the most aggressive mindset, it really allows them to what's the word? To play out that way.
To win.
Yes.
Arrow connects.
That was the word.
A big astral step coming out from Malrine.
Oh my god, nice
with
double
that
damage.
DD. Yeah, Miposhka will die as a result, but you can see Malrine is the one now on the run. Searing Chains again connects. Laurel, see if he can try and finish the job. Yatoro, not sure if he wants to go any deeper. Collapses there, continuing with the axes.
Skitter's pretty fast.
And it looks like Malrine will end up living. So it's just a support kill after all that. As now the pipe online for Team Spirit. And Harpoon is getting there for Yatoro.
Yep. Very close as a matter of fact. 5 gold away. So it's coming out just now. And yeah, Yatoro is the kind of carry player who's always been very aggressive in his playstyle, right? So this is right. This hero is right up his alley. Like, just go in front, find targets, put pressure, enable your team to shine as well while you're going in aggressively. So it's really allowing him to like perform that player identity, if you will. Like there's some carry players that are more, you know, your classic stand back and deliver. And it's not like Yatoro doesn't play a mean Terrorblade. He absolutely does, but it's just some players, even when they play a hero like that, where they will still not be scared of going in first. And really,
that is true.
Putting the enemy team to the test. Yatoro's always been that kind of guy.
Oh,
Malrine
arrows coming, sidestep.
Nice stolen aphotic shield there, just really protecting him.
Yep, that's an easy one to get. Snake King is an easy kill to get for Team Spirit. And looks like Tundra are just going to back away, though. Skeeter is spotted. Yatoro gets the harpoon. The Rupture comes out as well. He's just going to pop the borrowed time right off the bat, but there's the roar after the aphotic shield was used by Emergen, and that will lead to a kill onto the Bloodseeker. Big kill for Team Spirit.
Really nice.
Overall, 3 kills and 0 deaths.
Just such a great chase down, just again taking advantage of, this time it's the harpoon coming in at the great time, the opportune moment to catch Skitter, but also just power playing their way through the enemy triangle. Their lineup is incredibly strong right now. There really isn't too much Tundra can do to this last pick Abaddon when he runs at them, so they kind of have to yield and give him space. And it means it's damn it if you do, damn it if you don't. If you're fighting, that doesn't feel too great, but if you don't, he's going to run you down, harpoon you, and you're going to lose heroes. So you got to be very, very careful with how you're positioned and not letting this guy get in range of you. And that's a tough ask when the enemy has slight chains. This hero combination, the Abaddon plus Ember, is actually so beautiful because they set each other up for success. Ember lets Abaddon connect, and in turn Abaddon protects the Ember when he wants to go aggressive. So yeah, it's a really, really nice tandem.
Oh, Mira.
Good dodge from Mira here.
Quick leaps. 33's already popped that Firefly. You can see Collapse heaping in as well. And the fact that it was, I mean, we don't get to, I feel like as time has gone on in Dota, less gotcha picks at the end have been a thing when the teams have just gotten better over the years, but this Abaddon does feel like a gotcha pick.
It's still not. It's not to the extent of the good old.
I mean, it's not like Brood Mother.
Exactly. It's not like old Brood or Meepo with no counters or whatever. Like you.
But the synergies are pretty insane once you list them off.
Abaddon feels like a hero that you can always find a way to beat, but this is definitely in like a very high percentile of how good of a game this is for the hero. Definitely a truly standout pick. And the panel was also talking about it. BSJ was saying this could be a good lifesteal game, but he liked the Abaddon even more, and I agree. I can't think of a better carry pick in this game for this patch. So well done from Spirit identifying that. And yeah, definitely taking advantage of it so far. 3K lead after Tundra off to a good start, as we talked about earlier. Tundra had a 2K lead minute 8. It's been swung the other way now with some great aggressive plays from Spirit, and they're going to find more now maybe. Who's fighting?
Yeah, oh, that's a very fast disruption. 33 is going to get Searing Chains as well on the high ground here. Trying to disengage, it looks like, from Tundra's side, is a Demonic Purge into the arrow. That might be the death of Voice Spirit. A good telekinesis, but it's not going to be enough to save Malrine in the end.
Stolen access here for Immersion. This gives some freedom to collapse to Roar. If they do find a connection on Slight Chains, they won't be able to steal the Roar now. It's on cooldown, but well, it looks like they'll find a little maiden snack here.
Yeah, harpoon. That's always fun to watch. You know, I don't know if we've had this conversation a lot in general, how you're a big fan of the sound design in Dota. That might be the lowest quality. I don't know if you actually listen to it. The sound of the harpoon is atrocious. It's really poor.
I definitely think it's also not the only item. I can't remember what the other one is. Or oh right, I know what's coming to mind. The PA persona
Yeah.
With the like hitting with what sounds to be like
The auto attack?
Yeah, I don't even know what to call that sound, but yeah, I've always considered Dota to have like absolute pristine sound design, and the sounds are still unique, but I would agree, like some of the quality of sounds that we've had in the last year might not have been on par with. It's also hard to continue on that standard, right?
The sound guy is working on Neon Prime. That's why.
Right.
All the sound being used for that. 33 gets roared. Laurel surrounding him. And an easy pickup for him. 4K lead now for Spirit. So kind of a back and forth engagement, or back and forth game overall.
It's been a lot of fourth for Spirit, though, in the last...
Yeah, it has. I mean, I feel like a lot of the games we've been casting, not only at the Major, but even this tournament thus far, have been laning stage, and then that team just ends up winning. Whoever wins the laning stage.
There's been more
This one's been, it's been a little bit more swingy lately, which is good.
I think it's a sign of just overall improvement on the quality of play from the players, that they have a better understanding of how to play at a deficit, where in the previous, when the patch is new and you fall behind, you don't really know what to do. You just lose your way and you get overrun by the enemy team that has the gold advantage.
Yeah.
Now, even when things don't go exactly according to plan, a lot of the times the team finds a creative way to approach things. Maureen, good evasive.
I feel like as time has gone on in this patch, Tormentors have been a lower priority. 20 minutes, you don't see these teams get it immediately, unless they're trying to invade the enemy one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like 24, 25 minutes is typically when you'll see it, which I find interesting. Lasso, I don't think Spirit are going to find that interesting. Laurel, he does have the remnants, but they're slow to a crawl. Gets another one off. I believe he was ruptured. Has to stand still for the time being. Collapse is there for moral support, and he will live. So Tundra not able to finish the job. That would have been a huge kill.
And not only do they catch him like that, but he also didn't have a pre-placed remnant, so he had to throw it out. If there was a remnant on the ground, that would not have been really close to a kill, but with that having to come out there, that was scary. All right,
Malrine, arrows coming.
Too late. No,
oh, Cinderin does it again. Too late. Not for you.
All right, it can't be too late. All of his spells were on cooldown. I thought he had one of his defensive spells, but he literally had no steps or dissimulate.
Too late.
So yeah, then it's gonna. I mean, then it's gonna hit.
More like too late to get away. That's what you meant, right?
Yes.
Good boy. Good, clean boy.
Yes.
Manta on the way for Yotoro. Speaking of pronunciations, I like how you switch up the pronunciation of his name constantly.
What do I say?
Well, at the beginning of the game, you said Yotaro.
Don't I say Yotoro all the time?
You've been doing that lately, yeah. But Yotaro sounds, it's like super awful American accent, you know?
I feel like I've called him Yotoro for quite a long time.
No,
maybe not.
Because of me? I influence you.
Oh, yeah.
Abaddon is now hitting the Roshan. Do you say Roshan or Roshan?
Is that Roxanne?
That's right. Roshan is actually a word in Farsi, which is why I pronounce it Roshan. And it means bright, which is ironic. Because he's not bright at all.
But Ginsu's bowling ball was.
What's that?
That's what it's named after.
The bowling ball?
Yeah. Ginsu's bowling ball is called Roshan.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
He named it after his bowling ball.
Wow. That's interesting.
He must really have loved bowling. To name a fierce monster in a video game after a bowling ball.
That is interesting and quite sad at the same time. Okay, that's a very special bowling ball. He goes to sleep with it every night.
It's very possible that it's just fake trivia that he created, and now he's just laughing that people keep referencing it when it never was the case.
Could be.
But who names their bowling ball anyway?
No, that's actually a thing.
Oh, it is?
For bowlers.
I see, okay.
People that bowl for a living definitely name them.
They name...
It's like naming a ship or something.
But how many bowling balls do you use as a competitor? Do you have...
You probably have a backup, I would assume.
You don't only have one, right? Because then you need to wait for it to come back every time. But I guess if you only strike, you have time.
Yep. Very interesting conversation as always. 5K lead for Spirit.
Yep, they got the mid tower.
They have the Aegis. Snake King doing his best to push these lanes.
Speaking of bowling, Collapse striking here. Looking for Snay on the ward.
33.
Yeah, Laurel might be finding a spare kill here. Nope.
Arrows coming.
Did not.
I don't know the term for when you don't hit anything, but that's what happened there.
It's called a miss. All right, he is lassoed.
Lasso, rupture, blood right, but he's outside of it, doesn't matter.
That's Aegis.
They get the Aegis, now they reset.
Nice snipe there. That's a really good kill. I mean, sure, it's on the Aegis, but the execution from Tundra was very clean. Abaddon is not nearby for the save. They get a very quick hit and run, get out, and the cooldowns they expend aren't very long. So Batrider with the Octarine will have lasso again soon, and Collapse was out hunting the Crystal Maiden for an eternity and never found her. So a good result overall for Tundra. They are obviously still trailing. Oh, there's a TP coming top.
Yeah,
they're coming
Collapse. Ooh.
All right.
A blink away to safety.
33 is randomly going to burn a Hawk on his way out. A nice little snack there that he wasn't expecting. Just flew through it. But Yatoro
Okay, he does not.
did not find him at all.
That's right.
Classic 33.
Oh, 7 pets have died. Thank you, production.
Oh, nice.
Shadow Demon just died as well.
Speaking of pets, do you know what it's called in bowling when you get 3 strikes in a row?
A turkey.
Oh, there you go. I know. You know your terminology. You
Or
just didn't know the name for it when you
in some
missed.
countries, it's a banana. Did you know that?
There's no way that's true.
That is true.
That is absolutely not true.
You got me.
I think there's more likely that that's wrong than the bowling ball being called Roshan.
I'm sure.
I feel more confidently about that one. Tower under
Oh
siege,
boy.
but yep,
We got a
flank.
smoke.
It's a
Tundra.
5v4.
Moonlight Shadows popped. They want to go for Skeeter.
Yoink.
There is. This could be a bait though, but he's already at half HP. Gets telekinesed by his teammate to save him, and he will do so for the time being. Stun now and the lasso onto the Beastmaster. They take him out before he can get anything off. Big kill for Tundra. The Crystal Maiden did die, buys back in the game, and TP's in as well. Skeeter is actually going to live, so they initiated him on 2 different occasions and still will not find the kill. 33, forced stats to safety as well. Snake King, that's a dieback. That's what he's there for.
The stolen Aphotic Shield is genuinely keeping Tundra in the game. I think Immersion got 2 or 3 key saves off there. He saved Bloodseeker, he saved Bat.
You know what's funny about that? Is I think he just picked up his first level of Miscoil just to prevent that. Because usually you just go stats these days.
Yeah. Wait, did he? Hasn't he had it?
No, he just, I'm fairly sure he just got Miscoil.
Okay.
That popped up on the screen.
I see.
As we see a replay here. They lock down Collapse. Wasn't able to get the roar off.
Gonna see here as Laurel reconnects now. So he gets the slide chains onto the Bloodseeker. There's Aphotic Shield number 1. He runs away. And now they're gonna isolate and catch the Bat with the next one. Aphotic Shield fly, or Force Staff across, and then Firefly and Snake King. Unfortunately, they didn't have a 10 times strong Aphotic Shield to save him. He would have needed more than 1.
Yeah, if he had that old 25 talent.
He needed a high strength Aphotic. I don't think that would have cut it. I think we needed a 2,000 health shield there.
I see.
Not quite there.
Skeeter, he's going to be spotted.
Yeah, he doesn't
Demonic
TP,
Purge is going to keep him in place.
No way to TP him. He's just screwed.
Yatoro is here, surrounds him. And this will be an easy pickoff, and it's a big kill.
Harpoon.
Anytime somebody uses... the sound effect is just so comical, you have to laugh. Very out of place. So has the Manta, obviously, with the Shadow Blade now. We'll be going for the Silver Edge.
What dagger do you think you should buy on Abaddon?
Oh, man. I'm...
Swift Blink or Overwhelming Blink?
Arcane Blink, of course, as
Yes.
Roar comes out.
That's
The
not going to
lasso
cut it at
actually
all.
kind of trades places there. And you can see Yatoro come in and rip 33 a new one with the Harpoon action.
I mean, this should at least be Elena Barracks if they don't buy back here.
Oh,
Snake, no
Snake.
buyback. If he gets caught.
He's fine. He'll limp away, but the buildings might not be okay. What was stolen this time? It's the Hawk. Okay, more pets to kill. Miposhka gets the disruption. Laurel helps find the kill on Immersion, and now they're going to take out another one from Tundra's side. So just like that, they're in their base.
Oh, talk
with a
about pushing
5v2
power.
advantage.
Abaddon Beastmaster combo.
Yeah.
This is going to go down real fast. Where's Yatoro? What's he doing? All right, he's coming back. Bringing in the swings.
Gotta get those curses on there. There's the fortification.
Gets them on instantly with the Manta, too. So they're going to have the 4 curse stacks plus Inner Beast.
They do have 2 buybacks, but only 20 seconds apiece on both Rubik and Batrider. It looks like they'll give it up.
This looks like a Lycan push with 5 items.
Imagine it with Lycan as
Yeah,
well.
that would be ridiculous, honestly. Oh, that's 2 sides for Spirit.
Yeah, why stop now? No fortification in sight. All of them have been used. But everybody from Tundra is up now. Rupture is, oh my god, Snake just gets completely deleted. There's
Now
the borrowed time, just run around for full HP. Classic counter. And there's the roar now to 33. What was stolen? It is the roar. Can they do anything to counteract this? Skeeter already super low on HP. The roar finally comes out. And Skeeter just has to run back to Fountain. Arrow not going to hit, but the buildings will go down. This will be mega creeps for Team Spirit, although the lasso coming in on the Abaddon. That is not the hero you want to go for. He's very hard to kill despite not even having the borrowed time right now. And the Void Spirit, he's surrounded, silenced, and destroyed. And Tundra completely destroyed in this game number 2. So it'll be a draw again.
Man, I really enjoyed watching this series. I feel like both teams played really good individual games. So Tundra in the last game just step by step.